friends. It's Uncle Larry, Bukovac, Sagittarius from Cleveland. Sometimes known as the Starship Trooper. How you doing, friends? Uncle Larry's having a little grapefruit vodka today. Take the edge off after a long day of sessioneering. Been a fun day. I was over at Dan Auerbach's place all day playing the Magic Telly. You know, every time I go over there, I'll grab that guitar and I think, surely it can't be as good as I remember it. And it's better every time. Oh, man. Never have I coveted another man's guitar. I feel like Eric Clapton with George's wife on that one. But he'll never sell it to me because he knows how great it is. And he shouldn't sell it because it's amazing. Homeskoolin number 271. Thanks for all the kind words, donations about the latest couple of instrumental videos I put up. You know, little jams, playing some R&B and a little bit of, you know, rhythmic music for you. I'm a very rhythmic person, I suppose. Back from LA, had a great week out there. I was there all week, last week, hanging out with Nathan from Duesenberg. It was a sort of NAMM-related situation, but I actually didn't go to NAMM. From the stories that I heard from people that had come from there, I'm kind of glad I didn't. They said it was a bit cacophonous. Look that one up, Miss Melissa. There's this girl named Miss Melissa that watches all these shows, and she's an old friend of the family, and she always talks about my usage of certain words. She thinks it's funny, my vocab. So let me put the old corporate eye on so I can see some of these other things I wrote down here. While I was out there in Fullerton, California, in Orange County, at the beautiful Duesenberg showroom that Nathan put together, which is directly across the street from where the original Fender factory was. I was just mystified by the history of it all. Although the entire building that was once the great 50s Fender factory is now a parking structure. It was still really cool to be on that hallowed ground, as they say. Boy, I sure wish they would have left that alone, you know, for the sake of humanity. But onwards and upwards with progress, as they say, right? You may have noticed I got some new glasses because the ones that I usually wear suck. I think I might have a new Gildan on here. You see that name? Do you see that name right there? This is the third set of these that's broken on me. It takes about a month to break the arm off. What is up with that? Can't somebody make a pair of glasses that doesn't break? So they're on my new Gildan list, those people. I've got to meet Joey Landreth when I was out there, Chris Chaney, a bunch of really sweetheart people. Nathan had a little party at the Duesenberg place, and it was really great. It was a really fun hang. Let's see. Great to play with Joey. I mean, what a player. Sweet, sweet guy. You know, I love Canadians. Just in general. I love Australians too. Joey's a good guy, man. Good player. Lovely guy. So, I hope you all. You know, I also wanted to say hello to the Germans, the Duesenberg guys. There was like 5 or 6 dudes from the German factory of Duesenberg where they make all the guitars, and we hung out a good bit, and it was really fun to see those guys. They're sweet, sweet guys. I love how they call themselves Germans. We're German with the CH at the beginning. I noticed that, but we talked a lot about the cultural differences between Germans and Americans, and it was fascinating. But yeah, great time, great people. I hope you enjoyed the Rick Beato episode that recently went up as of yesterday. I need a new pick here. You know, we worked on that like a month ago, and Rick said he had a hell of a time editing all that shit together. But I think the video turned out quite nice, and so do all the lads that were involved. And it's amazing how many hits those videos get. It's just unbelievable. I mean, God. I mean, my pitiful channel, I think there's like 4 people that watch. But man, We're strong. We're small but strong. But Rick is awesome. I think it's very cool that he did that video and shined a little exposure on the Nashville session cats. You know, that's pretty cool. He did that. Thank you, Rick, for that. And I hope you all enjoyed it. Funny to read the comments. There's like 1 million comments. You'll have like 75% of the people say they loved the song, and then they had tears and chills. And then there's like 25% of the people that just hate it. You know, it's just like they think it's super generic and all that stuff. And it's like, man, right back to back, you'll have one guy say this is the best shit I ever heard, and then you have another person say it's the worst. It's like, no wonder it's a lesson in how different we all are. And I've got to the point where I used to be, you know, affected by people's opinions about things, but at this age, at this point, realizing how different we all are, there is just absolutely no reason to let any of that shit ever get under your skin. It's like you could put up your favorite Beatles song of all time and say, listen to this, people, and you're still going to have the 75-25 or 80-20 rule. So it doesn't matter what you do, they wouldn't like it anyway, you know? But, you know, I think when I first started this YouTube thing, I was a little more sensitive to some of the negative comments, like that asshole Teddy Boy or Sylview in the early days. But now at this point, I just don't even care anymore. I mean, I think it's been beaten out of me, you know. Although there is this one guy, no, just kidding. Dig this cool guitar, the Gibson Theodore. A lot of people think these are hideous, and they were aghast at Gibson's decision to make 318 of these guitars. For some reason, man, I know most of you probably hate this, but I think it's cool as hell. You guys know I've not been one to get excited about anything Gibson's done since about 1971. This guitar is very cool. They only made 318 of these. I have a feeling, I may be wrong, but I have a feeling these are going to be real collector's items one day. That's why I bought one. You know, it's funny because Marshall came by a minute ago after school. He stopped by to get some stuff, and he picked it up for a second. He goes, wow. He goes, this guitar is a lot cooler than I thought it was going to be. Now, listen to it acoustically. Super lightweight, alder, big old chunky neck. They only made 106 from this finish. 3 finishes, and I feel like this is the only finish. If you're going to get one of these, it's got to be natural. Amazing guitar. The pickup is way too low. See that? Way too low. I got to jack it up a little bit because you can't even tell. I have no idea what it even sounds like. But man, cool guitar. And it also needs a certain bridge that I might throw on there. Let's see. A few things in the VCB. Let's jump to those. Hey Tom, what is your opinion of old PV amps? Man, I started out on a PV. You know, one of my first amps I ever had was this PV Special 130. I haven't had an old PV amp in a long time. I don't even remember what they sound like, to be honest. But I sure like Leonard Skinner, and they sure made them sound good. The 120 watt mace that they used to use. God, can you imagine how loud that thing was? I bet there was bone crushing loud. So that brings me to the next question. A guy said, how loud do you like to play live? Hey Tom, he said. You know, I don't really play very loud. I've got terrible ringing in my ears tonight. So I've had it since my 20s. It's awful. So I don't like to blow myself out too loud on a gig. I like to mix in the band real nice. A couple deluxes on 2 or 3 kind of vibe, where you can feel it, but it doesn't hurt kind of thing. That's what I do. Anything more than that is absolutely unnecessary, in my opinion. Although I do love recording with those 100 watt Marshalls in the studio, but you don't have to stand in front of them when you're listening. You know, they're just for recording. But those things will sterilize you from 100 yards with pure volume. Tube power, valve power, as they say in Britain. Let's see. Hey Tom, I've noticed that some music sounded way better to me when I was young, and I can't even listen to hardly any of it. And I can't even, as an adult. Man, I feel that. There's a lot of music that I used to adore when I was younger that I can't even listen to anymore. As a matter of fact, when I hear a song that I haven't heard in a really long time and it still sounds great to me and it stands the test of time, it really impresses me. Like that happened recently when I listened to a song called Polaroids off the Sean Colvin album called Fat City that I used to love 25 years ago or something like that. Haven't heard it since. And I turned it on and I listened to that like 3 times in a row and I was like, damn, that shit is good. Sean Colvin's got a deadly pocket on that right hand, on that guitar. Deadly pocket. She puts up recent videos, you know, she's getting a bit older like we all are. But when that right hand starts going, man, she's got a deadly pocket. But yeah, a lot of music just doesn't age well. You know, some shit that I thought was amazing when I was a kid. Like, for example, I love Frank Zappa as much as the next man. I love Frank. I mean, I was obsessed with Frank Zappa when I was younger. Knew all the records, knew all the songs, and I can't listen to it anymore. When I get older, there's a couple tunes, a couple eras, records that I could still dig a little bit, but it's just that was for a younger me. I've worn it out. I can't take it anymore. If I was going to listen to a Zappa song, it would probably be something like Yo Mama off of Shake Your Booty. I still like that. Let's see. Hey, Tom, why don't you do more pedal reviews? Well, you saw what happened last time. I talked brutally honest about that silly hologram pedal that everybody's going off about. They're waiting for. And then did you see on the gear page on the site where people were all waiting to get theirs in the mail? 90% of them agreed with me. They weren't very impressed with it. So maybe little Larry does know a little something. But I got crucified for that one. They all thought I wasn't using it right. I've been playing guitar for 47 years. I know how to try to pedal people. Okay. Let's see. What else? Here's a weird one. Is there anything that bums you out about the modern generation of guitarists? This is a tricky thing. I don't want to be saying shit about that, but I think there's a lot of great guitar players out there today. Like, I'm not just saying that to be all corporate up with people. I do wish that people would pay a little more attention to rhythm guitar, and I do wish that people would play a little ballsier. A lot of the new guitar players out here are really talented and everything, but they're very flowery and sort of. It's kind of like. I mean, I like a tough guy approach to guitar. You know what I mean? Like hit it like you mean it. You know what I'm saying? I like that. Like. Play some tough guy, Cleveland shit for me once in a while, you know? Some steel mill shit. Not too much sliding around, please. There's a lot of sliding, a lot of that kind of stuff, right? Whatever. I mean, that's not how Mick Ronson played, so I'm not into it. So, yeah, there's that. But there's a lot of great players, you know? And I'm just another cog in that wheel. Happy to be there, you know, happy to still be playing the guitar, to be honest. I appreciate all you guys sitting around watching this silly channel. I really do. I'll let you know how this thing turns out after I jack that pickup up.